A great planetary shift is terraforming all life on the planet. Our lives are being greatly affected in our relationships, how we live and work, our general living circumstances. How are we going to thrive as the world transforms around us? The ancients have spoken of the Merkabah, a diamond-shaped bodily vehicle that we can ascend into and work to transition through. What is the Merkabah? How can it help us thrive through this great planetary shift? Well, firstly, the key is to be working on the lower vehicles, cleansing, purifying, unraveling through the physical, for example, in purification of diet, deep consciousness body work. And so the soul starts to infuse deeper through. And also on the emotional plane. So in relationships especially, getting rid of toxic emotions and relationships really being clear that they serve us, and if they don't, the invitation to transform them or let them go. And then establishing clear boundaries of expression, of self-respect and self-worth, so that if that isn't being reflected externally, then really looking internally and valuing oneself as a sense of being, and then requiring that of the external environment. Then through the solar plexus, connecting into lower mind, being really careful of conditioning that you aren't taking in, for example, too much social media, because that really programs the brain and it infuses you with these temporary 3-second dopamine hits. And that's very programming, conditioning, and something that orientates life in the direction of the synthetic reality. That's what we need to break. We need to break free from. We need to extract from. So really being careful about the degree of programming, also judgment, where we slip into judgment or where others are judging us and we're either allowing that or not calling it, or else stepping away from it. So really what you're doing is you're purifying the lower vehicles progressively and establishing then what we might call a chalice to receive higher dimensional energy coming in. How are we going to activate that? Well, this is about attuning the chakras, especially, well, all of them, but especially the higher ones. And you can do this through breathing meditations. You're then resonating frequency into the higher bodily vehicles of expression. For example, the throat chakra, the third eye, the throat chakra into higher mind, the third eye into what we might call the celestial body, and then the crown into the spirit light body. So this is what we can call the higher aspect of the Merkabah. You're activating that, you're breathing life into it, but then what you're doing is you're bringing that consciousness down through the being, you're cascading the soul frequency in, and the two bodily vehicles merge, the lower self and the higher self, they merge around about the heart chakra. That's the sense of it. And so you've got this purified vehicle that you're traveling in, that you're journeying in. Feels absolutely amazing. It's a great challenge to embody it and live that in daily life. what I would say to you is this, that you cannot rely on the old construct and how we've lived yesterday, because everything is changing, terraforming quickly. And you know, the shadow is trying to control everything, but the roots of this old karmic construct have been dug up and broken away. That's why everything's changing so quickly. They're trying to lock down, but the light is coming through very strongly. And we must pick up on that and infuse that. This is the great value of the Merkabah and working to activate it. You've got to be prepared to sit and be in the unknown. And that's a difficult place to be at times, because the lower self always wants to know what's coming next. We've got to interrupt that tightening, that contraction, that grasping. We have to interrupt it, open it out, sit in the unknown, and let these nuances, visions, senses, feelings, impulses come through, and then to step forward positively into them. And then you're going to thrive as we transition through. Now, we're not going to be doing this alone, because the ancients, the star-being nations from Lyra, from Andromeda, from Arcturus, from Sirius, from Orion, from aligned Draco too. And I'm talking about all the aligned energies from these constellations. And many more are there to resonate frequencies of beingness. And when we're opening and activating the Merkabah, those new frequencies, your resonance of them, are coming through, activating, animating, and speaking through you into your life. And that's the way we change the landscape. That's the way we terraform it. And so the landscape reshapes around us. We become the divine co-creators of life, of our reality. This is the incredible power then of activating and bringing alive the Merkabah. It's not easy. We've got to work for it. We've got to do all the inner purification and the opening up and the infusion, the connection, and then have the courage to step into it and step forwards with it. But you know, we know where the old reality, where the old path goes. It doesn't bring fulfillment at the end of the day. We know that. We need to open to a new possibility and not wait for it either. So not wait for the shift to culminate. We're actually terraforming, transforming through the shift now as we step forwards into life. So I encourage all to investigate, explore what the Merkabah is about, what it feels like for you. Get reflections from other people who are also working on it. And really orientate yourself toward it, because that's going to be what helps us thrive in the shift going forwards. And at the end of the day, when everything breaks down, unravels, unwinds, you're going to find yourself ecstatically expanding in a body of light and stepping boldly into the new paradigm. I wish you well in that. Namaste.